one of the very few tanks Switzerland ever produced. Tier 8 premium medium tank named Panzer 58 or Panzer 58. I am Neil and this is my review. When we look into the history, we can find pretty short story of a tank which would never exist if there would be no Korean War. In 1953, Switzerland wanted to acquire some new tanks, because the newest one was basically Hetze from Second World War, which wasn't very competitive in 1950s. They wanted to purchase some new ones, but due to already mentioned Korean War, there was no country willing to sell one. So if Switzerland wanted a new tank, they had to develop one. Unfortunate for Switzerland, fortunate for us. First prototype was finished in 1957 and was designated as a Panzer 58. It was equipped with 90mm cannon, which was upgraded over the years to 105mm. This tank was produced from 1957 to 1961, when Panzer 61 took place of a Panzer 58 and all 58 got converted to 61s. One funny thing about this production, over 4 years Switzerland produced 12 tanks. That's it. That makes it 3 tanks a year, and that were all versions included. But I wouldn't consider 58 as a production tank. It's more like beta version of a Panzer 61, because Panzer 61s are just basically improved versions of 58. They were produced from 1965 till 67 and there were 150 of them produced. So basically Switzerland had 162 Panzer 61s and they served their service in Switzerland from 1967 till 1994. Then they got removed from the service. Moving to World of Tanks Blitz, this is another Tier 8 premium medium tank. As Switzerland does not have its own nation, we can find it in German one. If there is any tank which reminds me Panzer 58, it would be Indian Panzer. While their history have nothing in common, they share some similarities within the game. Starting with the gun, they have exactly same DPM, penetration, alpha damage, velocity and gun depression. The only difference, 58's aim time is a bit better and dispersion a bit worse. If we compare it with other mediums, DPM of 2101 is on the top of the range, so this thing easily out-DPM many mediums. Penetration is best in the class and the alpha damage is just same as on any 90mm cannon, and as such it is not really made for trading shots, and basically only 88mm are worse. Sure, if you have to trade shots, you are very likely to lose here, especially against Soviets. But what you can do here, you can trade shots 2 for 1. So if you both shoot at the first time at the same time, you should track your enemy. You should shoot the tracks and then fire a follow-up shot, or follow your enemy and shoot and then hide. So because he will have a longer reload than you. Then you hide and then you try to shoot again when you are reloaded. So and then you can repeat this process. So he shoot once, you shoot twice. Your hit count at the end should be double of your enemy, and you should definitely out DPM your opponent. And you should be able to do this thanks to its mobility, but I speak about it a bit later. If we compare the weapon handling and ignore T-34-3, which have awesome, really awesome aim time, which is basically out of this world, Panzer 58 is very close to the best performance in the tier. The same applies to gun dispersion, so it really shoots pretty well. Gun dispersion on the move is a bit worse than most mediums, but just by like 3 to 5–6%. What this tank does really well is depressing its gun, exactly by 10 degrees, which is top in the tier. But don't get fooled, there are 5 other mediums which have 10 degrees of gun depression, and I'm not considering other tank classes. It sounds like it should be good at the rage fights, but it kind of is and it kind of isn't. It really depends on the opponent you face. So why did I say it depends on your enemy? And that depends because the armor is trollish, but it doesn't troll your enemies, it trolls you. So don't depend on it. But when we check the turret from the front, The sides are like 250 millimeters of effective armor, which is pretty good, but the closer we get, like here 211, the closer we get, the worse it gets. So if you shoot right next to the mantlets on the both sides, we are looking at like 150, 140 millimeters of effective armor, and that's something you can penetrate with standard AP shell of T44. It doesn't help the upper plate, which can be penetrated by most premium ammos, and here we see like 188, 220, so yeah, that's not very reliable at all. The mantlet is 250 together, so some tanks like Scorpions or many other TDs can go through your mantlet without any issues, so be aware of that. The commander's hedge is 130 millimeters and the other one is 150, so whole turret is just one easy pen. And let's focus now on the upper plate, which is kind of interesting. Here is 150, 158. Here is the cheeks are very strong with 420, but there is one weak spot, and this is that small drivers. You see this one? It's I think it's driver seat, and that's 130 millimeters. And the main problem is, even if you go 10 degrees of gun depression, you'll angle it like that, aim at the yeah, now it's aiming at us. That's the most depression it can get. You see the driver's hedge? It's still there, and 140 millimeters of it. The turret is penetrable as well, and the weak spots are there. This is just one armor which sounds great on the paper, but it doesn't work in real life. The sides are even worse, because here on the hull it's a 30 millimeters, so this is a HE magnet. The side is 65, so this is HE magnet for some, but it's definitely penable by any gun. And the rear is it's same, so it's very easy to penetrate. Moving on to the last major aspect of the tank, mobility. And this is another feature this tank does very well. It is not top speed rocket, because many mediums do 50 km an hour and 20 reverse, but they have one of the highest power to weight ratios and very good turret resistances. Well, if we'll exclude CDC and Lorraine, I guess. And this makes it very agile. It accelerates pretty fast and turns even faster. And when it gets to the 50, it keeps 50. It retains the speed very well. Thanks to this feature and great traverse speed, meeting this tank close combat in non-turreted TD is a nightmare. And it is a nightmare even for some heavies. All in all, this is pretty cool tank. While it doesn't have the good armor as it appears on the paper, it has great mobility, which allows you to quickly change your mind and relocate. And not only relocate, but you can use environment around you into your favor as well. But is it worth 15k? Good question. If I consider value for price, you can get Löwe and IS-6 for the same price as Panzer 58, so I'd say it isn't. But it is great fun, and I enjoy every second of it. The mobility and guns makes this tank so lively, it is fun all the time, and it doesn't matter if you win or lose. It is just fun, so for me it is worth 15k. So welcome to Dynasty's Pearl and this lovely master replay. Rest of my team, or most of my team, goes for an A, and we are going for a C. I wanted to use my gun depression here in this bush, so we can safely shoot and try to do some damage. So far nothing happened. I spotted a tank and I was like, okay, oh, this one. Centurion. He got probably surprised, and there we are, first shot. And you see, we can still aim, even though this bit is pretty steep. I'm blind here. 1, 2, missed. I missed 2 shots so far. I think I'll miss another one. Do I? Come on. Yeah, I missed this one as well. So far it's pretty safe situation. We've been ignored, so we can get some damage which you can't collect it easily. Maybe you just saw this was one lovely shot, even though you would say it wasn't, because there is some bullet drop, so Every time you shoot the shell, it drops a bit, and in this case we hit the Centurion, which was behind the cover. Centurion is dead, killed by T-34. That's pretty good. There's another one, 87. Oh boy, that was nasty miss. So one more shot. Yeah, 209. There'll be more shots. We'll be killing these things slowly but surely. And so far, we already lost. We haven't lost yet no one. Okay, that's pretty cool. There is battle on the left side. It's also 5-on-5, and so far pretty boring replay, to be honest. Yeah, we'll get hit here for the first time. Oh, we now lost 2 guys. Okay, it's 5-on-4. We should be winning this one. We are winning on the point. And I already farmed 2000 damage. That T-34 basically got most of the kills, but not that much damage. It's 4-on-4 right now, and I'm going to relocate to middle, because I see my guys on the left are being pressed and pushed, and at this moment, if we'll get into the battle, we can now start shooting the enemies from the sides, and that should give us advantage. There we are, first shot, lovely, not really aimed one, but we were lucky to put one in it. And just like this one, you see, it's very easy to get shots. You appear, shoot, and thanks to power to weight ratio, you can easily hide behind. Reload, lovely hit. That was unfortunate predator. He is now reversing, so I think like he is already out of his clip. We are 2-on-3 guys, and we are going to, yeah, this might be Coloban of Metal, I guess. It can be Coloban of Metal. It's 1-on-4, no, 1-on-3. Ah, please, one more shot. Yeah, there we are. There is 1 shot VK and 2 shot ISU. What I wanted here to, in the worst case, trade a shot with VK, but in no means you have to be hit by ISU. It doesn't matter. If you will trade shot with ISU, you would lose. So I wanted to bait him to go around. Maybe he want to face me. In that case, he will lose his opportunity to fight me properly, and I can trade shot with this VK, and the whole game turned to 1v1. We are winning on the points. He have to push. I can stay here all the game and just finish it, but he wanted to push. That actually, in this moment, he lost anyway, because I can be running from him all the time. And yeah, there we are, 1 more shot, and there we are, 4,239 damage done. We got most of the points on C cap, and that only means a mastery and high caliber and one of the hard Kolobanovs, because Kolobanov is never easy unless you are in Dracula and you're running away from 3 enemies and you have kept 2 or 3 bases. So yeah, I think this would be mastery even if this would not be a newly released tank, because we got, I think where it is, a base 1374 experience, which is quite high number. So yeah, I'd say it is worth 15k. It is fun tank and I really enjoy playing it. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do so, click the like button and the subscribe button so you get notified every time I release a new one. And if you didn't and you think this video is trash, you know, click the dislike one. And yeah, I hope I'll see you in next videos, and in the meantime, have a great games, great battles, do a loads of ammo boxes and engine fires. See you guys.